I wasn't planning on doing this video, but I have to. Fucking, I got this PragerU ad. I have to do this.
I hate clean air and water. I don't care how much companies pollute rivers and streams. I don't even like trees. I just care about tax cuts. Who am I? Well, that's easy. I'm a conservative.
They're
Or at
honest.
least I'm a progressive caricature of a conservative.
Oh.
But the caricature is absurd on its face. Conservatives breathe the same air and drink the same water environmentalists do.
A caricature is absurd on its face. Bro, what?
Conservatives love taking their kids to the same national parks environmentalists do. In fact, the whole idea of national parks was created by a Republican, Ulysses Grant. The park system was greatly expanded by another Republican, Teddy Roosevelt. And the Environmental Protection Agency was, yes, established by a Republican, Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon.
He liked clean air too. Conservatives want to conserve things. And one of the things we want to conserve
It's our
is
name.
environment.
Politics is just nominal. It's just words. Holy shit.
Because you can't have a healthy community without a healthy natural environment. That wasn't even hard for me to say. Because
Conservatives don't even like community. Like, that word means something else to them. Trust me.
believe it. Conservatives love the environment every bit as much as environmentalists do.
Oh, yeah, they
Question
do.
is,
Don't they?
what is the best way to protect it? And here's where we have big differences. The environmentalists say the best way, the only way, is through massive federal and even international regulations.
True.
Conservatives say the best way to protect the environment is by protecting property rights and encouraging innovation, safer, more efficient power, nuclear, geothermal, biomass, anything that generates energy at a price consumers want and can afford to pay. To the extent that government gets involved in conservation, say protecting wildlife,
Bro,
it should
he
get
has
involved at the
fucking
most local level.
Social Security members guarding deer and squirrels and trees. Fucking dudes with sunglasses and suits on. Holy fuck.
Possible, since the farmer, forester, or fisherman in Oregon knows a lot
That's how much of a police state conservatives support.
more about his environment than some bureaucrat in Washington, D.C. or Brussels. So how can we tell which way
Or
works
Brussels.
best? Let's examine the historical record. Today, and for the last century, the worst environmental offenders have been big, repressive, socialist governments. This was true in the last century.
I don't think this is true. The reason why we have so much carbon emissions right now, is because of capitalist countries. And capitalism. Like, the biggest polluters of our country is a handful of companies. So,
And it's true now. China, for example, pumps roughly twice as much carbon into the air each year as the United States, even though the U.S.
China is not socialist.
economy is almost 60% larger than China's. And how do
I don't know what that metric is based on. I have no idea what he means by fucking 60% stronger than theirs.
international agreements fare at protecting the environment? Not too well, it turns out.
Larger.
When
What?
President Trump announced his intention to pull the U.S. out of the
Look at their Trump, bro. Do they even like him? Look at him. He looks like he even looks like a dumbass here, bro. They literally, it's an honest depiction. Like, he's fat as fuck, and fucking the OK sign, bro. They even did the OK sign, dude. Holy shit! Is that a dog whistle, or is that like?
climate accord, environmentalists warned of imminent disaster. Yet a year later, it turned out that the United States led the world in reducing carbon emissions. It did so without surrendering its national sovereignty. Moreover, Canada, the EU, and China,
Is that
all
true?
signatories to the Paris Accord, not only failed to live up to their commitments, but increased their annual carbon
I should
emissions.
know. I should know these
The
things.
EU released an additional 40 million tons of carbon dioxide into the air that year.
The
China,
EU, hold on.
hoping-
The EU isn't socialist either. This guy has no argument here. Like, there's no solid underlying argument behind what this dude is telling you right now.
120 million additional tons. All while
He just wants you to
wagging
feel
fingers
like,
at
oh
others.
yeah, America good.
Here's what you won't hear from your neighborhood Greenpeace volunteer. The left favors big government solutions not because it's better for the environment, but because it's better for leftism. Take a look at the Green New Deal, an environmental proposal embraced.
I would argue that both environmentalism and the Green New Deal itself are both good for the environment and good for leftism, so
virtually
we're clear on
every
that.
major progressive in America. Forget for a moment the impracticality of a plan that would outlaw most forms of American energy and cost $93 trillion.
See this fear-mongering framework of outlaw? Fucking what conservatives want you to think is that, like, oh, and like right-wingers in general, like even Democrats want you to think, is like, oh yeah, we just want to make things illegal in the private sector. But no, what we want to do is make it not necessary for the private sector to do the things, because the government just does it.
Much of the proposal has nothing to do with the environment. Socialized medicine, reparations for historical wrongs, and a jobs guarantee program are just a few of the items on its wish list. What do socialized medicine and reparations for slavery have to do with the environment? Well, nothing. But for supporters of the Green New Deal, that's okay, because their primary goal is increasing government.
There's a New Deal part of that. It's not just it's not just the Green Deal. It's like also the continuation of FDR's progressive politics as well. Or theoretically that was kind of supposed to be behind it. Conservatives just kind of don't know, and they don't want you to know anything.
Or well beyond anything we've ever seen in America. They need this power, presumably, to save us from ourselves. In contrast, conservatives are all about innovating our way to a cleaner environment without depriving anyone of their freedom.
That will never work in the way that he's actually, what he means by this, like freedom as in anyone, as in corporations, and freedom as in fucking ability to pollute. Like, that's, it's like, okay, dude. And more money.
For example, that monster of all green monsters, horizontal drilling for oil and gas, also known as fracking. The left demonizes fracking, even though it actually makes the environment cleaner.
Okay.
Country richer.
This is actual fucking propaganda, and I kind of regret doing this video on this now.
And now independent of Middle Eastern oil. Something thought impossible a decade ago. How does it make the environment cleaner? By releasing up to 50% less carbon
all
dioxide
PragerU
into the
videos are
atmosphere
propaganda
than gold.
anyway, so I
And
don't
since
really.
it's also cheaper,
Why do I
people are happy
even
to
care?
buy it. Not because government forces them to, but because it saves them money. By the way, according to a Harvard study, fracking is safe and improving all the time. Yep, innovation.
According to wait a second, Harvard study, fracking is good. Fracking is safe, profitable, and good for the environment. Wow. Marcellus Drilling published this fucking paper. Exploring how fracking may harm the environment and health. So he says, as far as the health issues of people who live near it, their knowledge is growing. They're not quite sure to say definitively what it does. But they think it's making them stressful and fatigue and fucking, because it's like something in the water shit. Okay, never mind.
Abundant clean energy at
This
a fair
video
price
shouldn't be that long.
without infringing on my freedom. That works for this conservative. You'd think it would work
Look at this
for anyone who
fucking,
cares about the
oh my
environment
god,
and
dude.
people.
I'm gonna stay away from
So let me
personal
repeat.
attacks, but
I
holy
love
shit.
clean air and water. And I don't own even a single share of Exxon. I'm Michael Knowles, host of The Michael Knowles Show for Prager University.
You know what I'm afraid they're gonna do? I'm afraid that, like, at least some big figure who's, like, you know, culturally right-wing, like all these people are, like, oh yeah, fucking I'm basically a fascist. They are gonna start talking to the left as far as like policy, and they're gonna start being like, because you know we're having more problems. Like hello, like they're gonna start being like, oh yeah, maybe we should do like a universal basic income. Like they're already doing, like Ronald fucking, or not Ronald Reagan. Why am I so Mitt Romney already said that. So like there's no, I'm afraid of that. They're gonna go Nazbol.
Thank you for watching this video.
Thank you for what? Don't donate to them. Actually. Okay, so fuck that. All right. It's like Luke in fucking The Last Jedi. Every word of what you just said was wrong. Like literally every PragerU video you can use that quote for. Like every word of what you just said was wrong. Holy shit.